shot like that. And I think that's what the intriguing part of the game is, that it draws so many people in, because you know, if the angles are there, the shots can be made, and you have to look at them all. It's almost even like billiards. Only in billiards you have to call the shot and you have to make it, and if you don't get the score. So in curling it's a little bit different. You can kind of get fluky on some and still be okay.
Not everyone is cut out to be a skip. Not to discredit all the players on the team. Every player needs to know a lot about the game. The front end and the third have to be able to read the ice as well as the skip, so that they can respond appropriately to what's going on. They have to know where the rock breaks. They have to know if there's a spot in the ice where it starts to kick, so that they can respond with sweeping and calling. So it's not a difference of skill, it's the difference of how that skill is performed on the ice and their ability to take the pressure. And not everyone is meant to stand up under that pressure, and not everybody wants to be a skip. But for those that do, they are certainly a very key component on any team.
Well, you have to reassure them, I think. That's the most important thing. If they're down, like anybody, you get down on yourself, and it's hard to see anything positive in it. So you got to really keep them up for the game, keep them interested, keep them key, you know, say it's just one bad shot, park it, let's get on to the next shot, and you'll do fine. You have to be really supportive in that.
And curling is really a great sport in the fact that you get to be an individual player because you have your two rocks to throw, but you also play as a team. A skip can be the best shooter possible, but unless she's got a great front end that can take that rock and sweep it to the button, or a third in the house that can call line perfectly when the front end lets her know what the weight is on a rock, that's the combination that makes a winning team. The third and skip have to have the same philosophy of the game. If you have people that are at odds with each other on what the philosophy and the strategy should be for playing an end, you're not going to bring forth the strongest team. So that's really important, is to have someone that thinks the game the same way as you do.
She just keeps everybody really happy and focused and eager to play, make the next shot. And I'm not able to do that down at the skip end of it because they're all down here throwing and sweeping and whatever. So she's got a handle on that. She's sort of the link between the skip and the front end. Well, I like to run and get the major joints and major muscle groups warm before I start stretching. Because curling is such a demand on the knee joints that you have to make sure that, you know, your muscles are warmed up and stretched. So I take a little jog and warm the major muscles up, and then possibly do some stretching and groin exercises, and just stretch out, make sure you're loose and limber, and specifically the hip joints as well. When we stretch, make sure they're really stretched out because they take a beating. The sweeping ability of all the curlers here in the front ends is just tremendous, and with the new brooms, the synthetic brooms, the hammers, they're just, I mean, they're taking rocks further and further, and they can just bear down, and a lot of the girls are even pumping weights to prepare them for winter to sweep with those the hammer brooms.
The adopted team program is basically like the teams from the other provinces come in, and they have like no one to cheer for them, so everyone like sort of gets together and cheer for them. And there's two teams from our school, and we got matched with Manitoba, and I'm the skip of one of the teams, so I got matched with the skip of Manitoba. That's how I got Maureen. I like to watch her skip because it gives me like pointers and stuff about like what I could do better when I'm playing a game.
Enjoy the game, go out there, have fun, because it's a game where you meet so many people, and win or lose, you know, you've always got that to fall back on.
No, it was Skipper.
Curling comes in there. And if you keep it fun, I think you'll enjoy the game more, and you'll be able to make the shots that you want to. When you put a lot of pressure on yourself, you tend to tighten up a bit when you're throwing, especially at skip, and you end up not making the shots that you're supposed to. So I think if you can keep that fun aspect in it and the loose feeling when you go out there that you're going out there to play, but you're going to have fun doing it.
Actually, I'd like to work on my sliding. I cannot do it.
Not bad, not bad.
Always keep in mind too that you're playing against one other person at your position, not the whole team, one other person. And if you can keep that in mind, that you're playing one-on-one shots, I think that sort of gives you a little more focus rather than thinking of all these 8 rocks coming down and where it's going to go and what's going to happen. I know we had the Olympics a couple of years ago. We had a program where we were naming in the schools, where we were naming female athletes, you know, Olympians or even just high-profile athletes, and they couldn't name any female athletes, and that was really sad. So I think in that respect, it's opening the eyes of the younger population that there are competitive sports out there for women, and this is one of the best.